in Danvers. I'm gonna message him now.
Live to tape.
Good call.
You're live to tape.
Oh, beautiful. Beefs are plentiful, and I'm hungry.
Episode 4, week 4, Papi's Kitchen.
We're on 4 or
here
3.
joining us.
We're on 3.
Also, Adam.
This is 4.
Adam Jew.
No, it's 3.
So, Matt, thanks for coming on this week, man.
Hold on. All right, hold on.
I'm on number 4 or 5. I'm on one of those.
What are you really rewatching? Oh.
Well, Cameo, you can hold out.
No, I mean I was actually on it.
There it is.
Cameo, you can hold out.
No, I mean I was actually.
Whoa, wait. There it is. Wait, stop. Whoa, wait.
Holy shit. What just happened?
What was episode 3 called?
Echo.
YouTube.
Episode 3, Papi's Kitchen.
I typed in episode 3.
I woke up on a bench with my jean leg down and my boxers like on my thigh with shit hanging down my leg.
Really? Yo, episode 3 is not there. There's episode 2, and then it goes right to episode 4.
Are they getting shadow banned?
What was on 3? Some heat?
Must have.
Probably they never added it to like the thing. Oh no, you even play Papi's Kitchen episode 3. Maybe they named it something different.
Whatever. We'll listen to this one. No, I'm under their playlist. There's no episode 4.
What an intro too, right?
What an intro. That's a Willie G original.
It's Willie G beat. That's his beat.
Episode 4, week 4, Papi's Kitchen. We got Matt from Providence here joining us. Also, Adam the Jew we got this week. So, Matt, thanks a lot for coming on this week, man. It's
rebrand.
Good to see you.
This is the one I'm on. I'm pretty
my
sure.
favorite Minifans. I met you in one of the first Minifan events ever, the courthouse in Woburn, and then in Sherborne and in Madawaska. And you've just been a really genuine, just nice guy every step of the way. Happy to have you on here, man.
You're one of the few people who think I'm a nice guy, so I appreciate that. I'm happy to be on here with you.
Well, I don't know. I go off my own personal experiences, and every single time we've interacted, you've been a gentleman and a scholar. So, very happy to have you on. Adam, how are we doing today?
Thank God. I'm good. I'm a little worse for wear, but good. I echo the same sentiments. Never really met you in person, Matt, but I'm definitely excited to talk to you. Definitely excited to hear, what's been going on with you. And, I think that I can echo the same sentiments in the sense that anytime we've interacted, you've always come out as genuine and as a nice guy. So, I'm all about getting rid of the hate.
Thanks. Yeah. I kind of need this praise right now. I've kind of been dragged down in the dumps as of the last couple of weeks. So this feels pretty good so far. I'm pretty happy. A small part of me was expecting an ambush here, but it seems like that's not going to be the case.
No, not for me.
No.
Matt from Providence went out with Papi and Adam the Jew and thought it was an ambush.
It's been tough. I'm working every other day at work right now, but it's made it extremely difficult to keep up with the show. I mean, sitting at home with my girlfriend, it's not exactly easy to throw on the show for 3 hours and pay close attention to it. So I've been running a little bit behind. It's been a little bit more difficult to keep up, but I'm glad to see that everybody is kind of stepping it up in my absence, it seems.
Yeah, it's something I wouldn't really have realized, but the quarantine's killed my ability to listen. I figured out ways to get it done, but I realized I listened to majority of my listening was done when I was out of the house, just driving or doing whatever, working. And when you're at home with family watching a kid, it's really tough to get time in. But
that's so funny.
I think it's had a lot of effects on the community too. The people have been more aggressive. I feel you get that kind of malaise and misery that's taken over some of the Discord and stuff like that. It's been rough. But
even aside from people's inability to keep up, it seems like there's been that extra layer of tension in the Minifan world ever since this quarantine started. Everybody's just a little bit more on edge, it seems.
So that kind of brings us to my, one of my first questions. So Kirk came out on the AMA. I'm sure he said it on the show as well, but he came on the AMA in Discord a couple of days ago. Basically said that he was fed up with the infighting. He, he wants us focused on enemies. So the latest one to kind of pop his head out is Riccio. We talked about it a little bit before the roundtable, but you've been around for a while. I'm pretty sure you're an EEI guy way back, right?
I was a listener back in the EEI days, hardcore. I never really jumped into the Twitter aspect of it until right around, I would say, a month or two into Kirk going over to Barstool. I just never really realized that it existed until then.
Wow,
and I was like, you know what? It's time
Matt,
to
Matt
get
the
involved.
Menso.
Wow.
But nonetheless, you're aware of pretty much all of the enemies, the history of
enemies.
Exactly. Yep.
So what do you think of this whole Riccio stuff? When you compare it to the enemies of past, the big
enemies,
actual foes that we faced. We got
Poppy's
this
words
idiot
today's
out
gonna be
here,
enemy.
Riccio. I personally think that. I'll go to
Drinking
war.
game.
I'm ready. If Kirk says that it's justified, I'm
I'll
good
go
to
to
go.
war.
But it does seem like one of the weaker. Just not much of a challenge. It seems like an idiot to me. Yeah, and I'll do it, but I don't know. Even Menners makes him look like a kindergartner,
I mean,
got him.
Yeah.
Riccio is just scum of the earth, bottom feeder, as bad as it gets. I mean, we've heard it all from Kirk. He leeches off of his brother. He uses derogatory terms in some of his articles that he's written. He regularly will drop the N-bomb, use derogatory terms for homosexuals. He doesn't really have a filter when it comes to being, a respectful human being. Like, he's dragging Kirk's family into the whole fight now. And it's like, there's a line. And when you cross that line, you're going to feel the Minifans' wrath. And he kind of let himself disappear for a little while. And
I love that.
I'm feeling like this time it was going to be a mistake popping his head out.
Do you also think that there is something to the fact that Murchison never, he went at Kirk, he spoke to Kirk and basically told him, there's nothing that you can do. This is not going to end, whatever. But with Riccio, for example, every time when he was on Enough About Me, when he was on the Minifan show, anytime he's actually confronted, he turtles faster than anything you've ever seen. And I mean, do you think there's something to that in terms of, just who his character is?
Well, that's because deep down, he's a fan of Kirk's, I believe. And, he has his own little shtick where he thinks he's a character in the world who is like a more intense Mayo kind of, just a contrarian, someone who will fight with Kirk, push back, and give Kirk a hard time. When in reality, he's just a piece of shit. Nobody likes him. Even the contrarians of the show today have their fans. Nobody likes Riccio. I don't know if anybody in real life actually likes Riccio. How could you like him? Look at the guy. Everything he does just comes from a place of being a piece of shit, really.
He's fugazi.
Yeah, he just seems like a really just he's depraved. He'll go as low as he needs to, but there's just not much capacity there. He's just going to go off within a couple seconds of having the Minifans' attention. He's just gone as low as possible. He can't go any lower. It's not all he's going to do. So I hope that we set an example here and crush him quickly, and then we're able to move on to some more interesting stuff.
Papi the
even
warrior.
Benjamin Albright. That was a lot of
Papi
fun.
the enemy slayer.
But yeah, so I assume that this process will kind of fade quickly. We'll defeat him quickly. Moving onward, what are you excited to kind of see? Who you're excited for us to see us go to battle with, like the Globe, EEI? Who do you want to see?
Yeah, all the usual suspects. The Globe, top to bottom. I know Kevin Paul DuPont is getting a little heat on Twitter right now for saying that he wished that the protest outside of is it City Hall in Boston? Is that where it's going on? He wants them all to get taken down by the murder hornets. Showing his true colors as Globe as it gets. It's the usual suspects. It's the Globe. It's Shirley. Murchison's kind of disappeared, but he'll pop up eventually. And you know what? It ties right back. Riccio himself is an associate of Globe members, so it's just that whole group in general. We all gotta start getting together and work as a team to take them down, because I've seen some of the things that, the guys in Discord are capable of. They got some really talented tech guys in there, and just a large group in general who, if we all start putting our minds together, we're going to come up with some really creative ways to fuck with these people.
It's been scary already in my Twitter feed. Like the amount of information and details that have been gathered in such a short period of time are just scary. I wouldn't want that wrath.
I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but a video circulated today of Richie O. He was speaking at some courthouse or before like a state senate or something about some sort of rent relief for like the arts and whatever. But he led off with his address. Yep. So if anybody wants to, maybe print off some flyers and scatter them around that neighborhood, I think that's a good start.
Flyers, eh?
Matt, you got me ready to run through a wall right now.
So kind of talking on that contrarian topic, when you have the people like Mayo,
Shout out Mayo,
MHB to a certain extent. What are some of your what are some of your thoughts on the current contrarians we have out there? You kind of see the whole gamut being ran. People like DJK that don't really seem to be a genuine Minifan. Like I saw him on Mike and the Minifans. Wasn't really aware of a lot of the details. A lot of the notes were kind of just going over his head. Didn't seem engaged on like real show stuff. Then you have people like Menners and Mayo that are pretty authentic. They don't miss a show. They re-listen to shows. I'm kind of realizing more about that now because doing a YouTube show, you don't want to just be agreeing. You don't want to be coming off like Mike. You do kind of have to mix it up.
Papi's Larry King, man. The Larry King.
And I think I've heard you kind of talk about that on Mike and the Minifans. That even if you don't believe in an argument 100%, they'll still kind of just take that angle just to be more just to have more fun, not just make like an agreeing fest. What's that kind of been like? Is there like are there ups and downs of doing that? Do you kind of get some enemies in the community?
Enemies. Oh, for sure, yeah. And for the longest time, I was viewed as the complete opposite. I know the comments and Mike and the Minifans would always be, Matt never disagrees with Kirk. Matt will agree with anything Kirk says, which actually, as of late, I find the tide kind of turning on that. But yeah, there's always going to be a place for the contrarian, and some people, they get a little jolt out of starting a fight or getting people to talk some shit back to them. Like I would say, Mayo is probably the biggest contrarian there is in the world right now.
Shout out Mayo.
And I mean, I like the guy. He's a great guy, but we have our little battles because it's fun. It's not going to be fun if you sit around and play slap and tickle with everybody all the time. I know, like you guys, I'm a ball buster. I'm sure you guys are too. So, I mean, that's what we're all here to do. We're here to bust some balls, have some fun, and take down some assholes.
Fuck my buddy's ball.
Matt, speaking of being contrarian, and you've sort of alluded to it a little bit. You've sort of over the past, weeks, months, whatever it's been, looking at your timeline within the KMS world, you went from almost being the president to a shitty joke that probably went too far from people's reaction to the last time we saw you, you were battling Kirk, and you've been pretty quiet. And you mentioned it, and I completely agree with. I've got little kids, so I get it from a totally different angle. But it's a lot harder to consume everything and be as vocal now. But do you look back at your sort of roller coaster over the past few months, and do you have any thoughts about yourself as a contrarian or as not? Do you have any regrets about that the way that you've you sort of traveled the road?
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily consider myself a contrarian. If I disagree with something Kirk or anyone else says, I'll voice my opinion. I'll let you know that I disagree. But I just try to come at it from I know people are going to say that this isn't true, but a genuine point of view where I might amplify my disagreement with something doesn't mean I'm actually, head over heels just upset about it. Like I'm going to flip out. I might amplify that a little bit. And as far as Kirk, my little spat with Kirk the other day, all I know is, we had our fight. Intern Nick went and made another mistake after that. And then a caller called in and, basically echoed the exact same point I made to Kirk. And he took it much, he was much lighter on that caller than he was on me. It is what it is.
Have you gone through periods where you're like your activity is kind of have you gone through periods where you're taking a step back and been like, you know what, I want to take a break from this world for a while?
Not necessarily a break, but I would say probably the last month or so, I've kind of taken a step back. I've been far less active. And I think a big part of that is just the difficulty that I've had with keeping up through the whole quarantine.
Do you think
I mean, I want to be out, I want to be downloading that thing right at 11 o'clock every day, listening straight through and jumping on Twitter to talk about the latest, whatever it may be. But as of late, that just hasn't been a possibility for me.
Well, honestly, I really respect that because MHB was taking random shots, not listening to episodes for days and days at a time.
Been a while,
What he was talking about. So
Just
I
looking
think
for what I
it's
want.
smarter
It's
play
always
just to
difficult.
not talk about that.
Yeah, if I haven't listened, I'm not gonna partake in the conversation. I feel like that's something that I'll leave that to whoever else. I want to know what I'm talking about when I talk about it. I don't want to just throw shit against the wall.
Matt, can you talk a little bit about your prank
I
calls?
feel like
Yeah, sure.
it's the first year everyone.
Do you want to just walk us through how you did it?
Oh, here it comes.
Did you do a lot of research?
You know what I mean? Like I feel like
into
in
these
years
networks
past,
before,
it's
or
been
these
there.
shows
Like
before
if you smoke,
called in,
but now
spending
it's like
hours waiting,
and with COVID.
how did it happen?
You know what? And that's a good question. I actually saw Barstool Advisor put something out the other day saying that the live prank phone call show would be awesome. I really honestly couldn't disagree with that more. There's a lot of time put in for maybe 30 seconds of payoff. When we would get the 50 state challenges, I would literally just go into Google and type in talk radio in whatever state, and you get a whole list of them. And I would just go from one to the next, just checking, is there a local non-syndicated show on this? What's the show schedule looking like? Who are the hosts? And then I just call and call and call. And sometimes it might take,
but I was like, you could have all the
5
people
channels before
together
you even find a station that's
and
taking
do that
calls.
together and then record.
And then,
the show.
maybe you get on, maybe you don't. Maybe you sit on hold for 45 minutes and then you get dropped 5 seconds into your call. It is a roller coaster, those calls, because sometimes you're deflated because you're like, shit, I just sat on hold for an hour and didn't even get half of my, whatever I wanted to say in. Other times you'll get right through, you'll put it down, and then you're like, fuck, yeah, that was great. I got it. They're going to love this. And, but no, the prank calls, man, it's anyone can really do it. I like to script out, not a full script, but frame something out, kind of list out some of the references that I want to get in there, and then try to come up with, a local way to work that in.
Absolutely.
Hope Dino's taking
So what
notes.
do you think of the kind of the current genesis of the show? We've gone through phases where songs are really emphasized, where prank calls are emphasized. The theme is kind of always changing a little bit. What do you think of the current state of affairs? What do you think of Cullen and how many calls the actual show itself is taking right now?
I thought Cullen was really good. Even Kirk acknowledged this. It was a little difficult to follow just strictly through like an audio format. But like he said, just joke after joke after joke. And it was great. It was great to see all the Minifans get together and do something together like that. I hope there's something more to come from that in the future. It sounds like Krasinski might be involved, so that would be awesome. That would be the best. So I hope we eventually see that. And now, did you say also, how do I feel about the amount of calls taken?
Krasinski, man.
Yeah, I mean,
Office
I don't
Kirk
dislike it. Every once in a while, it can get repetitive. You can't hear 10 minutes beforehand unless you've been sitting on hold that whole time, so you don't really know what's been talked about. So yeah, it can get repetitive. There's certain calls that aren't my favorite, but I'll listen to it because you never know what you're going to get out of Kirk, Mike, or Steve. So that's the reason to pay attention anyways.
Yeah, it's an intelligent way to kind of pivot when the news cycle is so limited and to create content, kind of out of thin air.
Yeah, for sure.
Adam, you got any more questions for this guy?
Yeah, I got one last question. As for a little bit, you were sort of the face of the Minifan versus Mincel war a little bit, right?
I kind of started it.
Well, I'm trying to be nice here. But I was curious what your thoughts are on it now. I mean, do you wish that in an ideal world, you mentioned it before, when we all work together, we do some really amazing shit. I mean, it's crazy and we're all psychotic, but we do some amazing stuff when we work together. Do you have any regrets about that, or do you wish that there was just everyone was just a Minifan and enough?
I think they talk about the bracket
bullshit. Like we're all just Kirk fans.
I mean, like you said, we are all Kirk fans, and I think it was taken a little more seriously than it really was. Like me and John talked about, like, before our fight. We were cool. It was amplified. I like those guys. They're cool. BA's like, the nicest, dumbest, coolest kid there is. And John,
who doesn't love BA?
Yeah, and as much as I might disagree with some stuff that John does, the kid works his ass off for the show. Phil, I don't really know that much. I mean, we've argued a handful of times. Nothing serious, just some bullshit. But I think the whole genesis of that Mincel war was just each side not realizing the other side was joking. Everybody thought they were ahead of the other on the joke, and it spiraled into fucking something crazy that didn't need to happen.
Entering well with the comment. Blow was a 2-seed. You don't know that.
People forget that.
People forget.
Yeah.
Some people say it was the perfect.
Never
bracket.
forget. Never.
Some have said. Yeah.
That's so funny.
I don't know. It's always going to happen. There's always that ebb and flow. People coming, going in this world.
The ebb and flow.
Ups and downs to it. But I think at the end of the day, you're really
Papi's a Larry King.
Thanks a lot for coming on the show, and great having you.
Thanks for having me. This was fun. Do it again sometime.
Wait, why was Larry King's wife Asian?
Oh wow.
Oh, how are we doing today? So I've learned.
Pat from Lawrence. Man.
So I'm going to tell you a thing or two about cars, because I know a thing or two. Well, mainly two things about them. First, how to open the doors, and second, how to open the hood or the latch or the gate.
He was the best part of the show with these videos.
You just open up.
I know, it's so weird not watching the video.
You are in. Look at this.
Yeah, what is happening?
I don't know.
The great idea of putting a 3.5-liter truck engine into this piece of shit.
I forgot which one
working.
this is, but
I think he's working
doing
on
some
a car.
video.
Each cylinder has
Is that this one? I know he was doing
I don't
brakes
know.
on one.
Filling those up. Just a very long, intricate system of tubing. Here's where your iPhone parts go, and where you get your AAA batteries if you really need to. And here's where your catalytic converter and
What the fuck is why? What the fuck?
You do not want to be low on blinker fluid.
It's amazing, man.
Oh, Dino, get ready! I'm coming up next segment. I'm here for the roasting.
That's so funny.
What is this?
This is
Papi's kitchen, man.
Yeah, what the fuck is Papi's kitchen? I thought he was like cooking food.
No, they chop it up. Folks.
They chop it up, bro.
Quick, short show, chopping it up.
This is your alternator, which really just provides power to the windshield wipers. See that little doohickey? That little doohickey's a
See that little doohickey right there?
It's actually for cooking soup. If you didn't know that.
You see that one, Dano?
I don't know if you guys know, but I got a banjo. Here it goes.
All in the same stick. First thing you do is grab this green, key handle here and pull it up, maybe 2 to 3 times.
Green tea.
Wipe it off. Only twice though.
I took my shirt
off.
Check it at least 70 times, but only wipe it twice. And then after the second wipe, put it back in and see what the level is.
Tina, you're getting good.
Yeah, I need oil bad. Oh shit. I really don't like this lady.
I'm gonna incorporate it.
There's a lot of billionaires opening up their mouths. I figure I'm a poor shit person, so I'll do it too. I mean, this took 6 extra days to get to me. I'm assuming it's because of how well they fucking secured this. This took forever to open up these little, like, $9 worth of goods, as you'll see in a second. I mean, it's only a set of mono-wound mandolin strings, which provide a nice tone.
Mandolin string. Oh my
god.
god.
The main purpose of this was these $3 belts for the sewing machine I have.
I'm gonna go order food and
you
come back.
$3 and they're OEM? That is insane.
No, it's a short show. They just chop it up, bro.
They chop it up. Papi's Kitchen. In and out. Chop it up.
Finally had enough of that nuisance haircut and want to swim faster. Speaking of that sewing machine from 1941, here she is. I already put the belts on it, but look at this casing. Isn't it beautiful? Since I haven't seen my Soul Cycle instructor, I've kind of gotten a little weak, as you can see. It's got plenty of storage space. And you want more storage space, motherfuckers? Here you go. The whole seat is all storage. Boom. It's made in Canada. It's old. Buy it. The Raymond J, whatever that says. I don't know if those numbers are right. Let's go walk the 5K. Since it's so close to Lawrence, it can't be beautiful. It has to have some shit. It has to have a stairway to nowhere. Like that. I mean, these people don't know that they're being filmed there. They have a mask on. In '93, Radio Shack was selling a set Type 4s for like $5 a pop. It's a good deal. One laser display, $400 though. I mean, here's a nice flag of America. This lady was the shit though. She was not happy when she looked back until I was recording her. But then I was not happy she was driving a kid there. I actually slipped here, as you can see. But I made sure not to drop the motherfucking camera. Rule number 1, don't drop the gear. So, I mean, the biggest risk to Corona was probably me slipping in there. But look at these, like, this must have been a bridge or something. It's really kind of pretty looking. Kids go back here to do drugs and whatnot, as you can see. But it's not very safe. There's a bunch of rebar literally everywhere.
I need an explanation.
In this newly built,
It's Papi's Kitchen, man.
It's the kitchen, baby. We're chopping it up, keeping it short.
They're chopping it up, keeping it short and sweet. You got Papi's interview, round table.
Goes with the ease and flows of things.
That's respectful. We can't even get free.
I don't know how to be any more clear.
But I love trucks pulling trucks.
You don't have to be. He's just.
When's the last time you seen a truck pulling a truck? Well, probably not that long ago.
You get it or you don't.
This is all original stuff too.
Hey man, how's it been? You long time. Oh, pretty good. Here,
It's Patu.
Yeah,
You doing Black Boys?
Oh no, help me. Oh my god.
This is like a, I think this is like a Lego segment.
You have no trust left. So look at those you send us your money today. Science will win every single time.
For everyone who commits technology, here's a reminder.
Yo, Pat's fucking crazy. That dude is fucking crazy.
That's insane.
Sherburne and Madawaska police departments. It appears to depict a man fighting with what appears to be a horse or a deer, but this man also appears to be able to transform into some type of automated vehicle. Clearly a odd type of
Yeah, you like that background? How I could just, how there's just the GVE things?
Yeah, it's
That's
fucking
dope.
awesome.
What sick person does that?
You see, yo, BA, did you see the other one? Are you watching it right now? You see this one?
My thumbs are. I don't like it.
Week 4, Papa's Kitchen. We got LK, Adam in Jersey, Pat
Yeah.
Lawrence, Ken
That
Ryan,
one's
Mike.
sweet too.
Welcome everybody. So yeah, our
okay,
featured
sorry.
guest this week
Yeah,
is going
okay, I
to be
see
Matt in Providence. He started off the show.
Yeah,
But, we're also
I had
very
it
excited
on
to have
somewhere. It was
Cameo
double.
Blind Mike this week. CBM is a guy that I've gotten to know. One of the first people that I kind of got to know in this world through Discord.
CBM.
And a really interesting guy. He fucking wants to hear any of that. But anyways, like
Shout
one of
out
the main
CBM.
things that
CBM.
and I bonded over at first was the beer. So we're both kind of like big beer nerds.
CBL.
Driving around.
CBL.
different beer releases and stuff. And
Dude, the Papi
beer
started
hop.
KMS Brew.
yeah. You like driving around drinking beer.
Yeah, me and him started.
Yeah, we also
The people
hang out
are
with
saying
Mutt,
people are
and,
saying this is
yeah,
what
it's a good
brought this
time.
is what sparked the end of it. Papi and Cameo.
Yeah. So is anybody else here
love
like a
Papi.
craft beer guy? I mean, CBM and I are like big
Remember those
drinkers.
craft
Anybody
beers,
else
like
here?
craft
Oh, well.
beers?
I like Scotch, whiskey, but I prefer Scotch. I'm a hard liquor guy.
Yeah. I mean,
Second to that.
I would
Second
before I
that.
lost the gallbladder, but now it's just pretty much
I lost the gallbladder.
It's Alcoholics Anonymous, actually. This is what the segment is.
There's actually a lot of like really good craft beer in New England. You know, CBM and I have talked about it, you know, in depth. But yeah, I mean, so something that we were talking about recently is CBM he's been brewing.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying.
And
What
he's
Pat said.
been learning more about that. He's actually, you know, considering
we don't
brewing a beer.
Obviously,
or
I
he's
can
looking
do
into brewing a
background on
beer
this. So Papi
kind of
reached out
for
to me.
this
He's like,
for
hey,
this
you
work.
know, heard you're a
So
home brewer. We should brew
first
a beer
question,
for.
CBM, how long have you been brewing
Where it
for?
started.
How'd you get into it? How long have you been doing it?
So the next episode, I actually brew the beer. About 10 years, a buddy of mine, like every other weekend, we would have a share. Each of us would bring a different beer. You know, we talk about it. We trade for beers. And one day I went there. We just had an extract brewing kit, which there's a couple different types. There's all green, which I do now. But he had that kit, and we started brewing. Dude, my fucking audio was terrible. Brew a beer. And I just got so used to it, and I started copying his recipes and doing it on my own. And then I just did it myself, and now he doesn't even brew, and I'm the brewer.
Wow, the brewer.
So CBM, do you have all the equipment, you know, all the things necessary to brew?
I have a really small home brewing 10-gallon. I can brew 10 gallons at a time.
Nice, let's go.
And then I can get enough fermenters to do a ton of stuff. But that's usually what I do. I do 5 to 10 gallons, and it's more of a hobby. You know, like to pass it along to friends, like to bring it to barbecues. Like me and Papi were talking about, we're gonna do a beer. We're gonna.
Oh yeah.
Well, I have a couple of ideas in mind.
Yeah.
And I have an idea.
The worst beer names in history too. ACBM.
One keg, maybe.
That's good.
Yeah. So do you want me to bring up those 2 beers for the poll? I had 3, but I cut it down to 2.
Yeah, so if you get down to 2, we'll how about this? Pass along the beer ideas that you have, and what we'll do is we'll throw up a poll online on Twitter. Twitter or Discord, one of the two. We'll figure it out kind of after show. Probably Twitter. So yeah, what are the 2 beer ideas that you're thinking about? All
right. So I really want if you do this one, I'm sending it to Mike and he's drinking it. Mama Geary Sticky Stout. It's going to be 8%. It's going to be tons of vanilla, chocolate. You know, maybe we'll throw some coconut in there. That's what we made. Then the other one is a Steve's a Liar Session Ale.
Oh, that's the one that was a little long.
Double IPA, hop to shit. So it's going to be like, oh yeah, session. Which, I don't know if you guys know in the craft beer world, session just means something between like 4 or 5% that you could crush all day.
Yeah.
So you know, it's gonna be a liar beer.
Like an all day IPA or something. Yeah.
Very innovative. Yeah.
Everyone's gonna be all
face.
What else is new? I think, yeah, but I mean, I like both of those ideas, and then the one that I'm gonna do for Justin barbecue when we tear his kind of just a barbecue beer.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
R.I.P.
I mean, I want to called private security and shit.
Yeah, it's gonna be called Justin's Barbecue Massacre.
I've got an orange vest.
Amber Hoppy Ale.
So what?
So that's
say that again, CPM. What's the Justin one?
Yeah,
it's gonna be Justin's Barbecue Massacre Amber Hoppy Ale. So it's just gonna be a red beer, really light but very hoppy. It's gonna be crushable, where people can't get too hammered, but you can get hammered if you want.
Now, how does the red beer go with the red snappers?
That's a good question.
It will be a lot of questions. Sweetness. Yeah, I was favorite from the hot dog. Perfect.
So CBM, you 2 questions. How many like batches of beer have you brewed so far?
Jesus, over 10 years, probably an average of 1 a month. Oh, no, hundreds. Yeah,
hundreds.
And yeah, I would definitely. I had no idea. Helping buddies out too. I brewed a lot of beer.
You drinking anything good tonight?
Yeah, I'm doing. I went to Long Live, one of my local breweries. I got a growler. They're doing takeout. Pretty much where you just walk up to the door and they hand it to you. It's called the Promise. It's a double IPA. It's probably honestly something that I would almost make like the Steve's a Liar. Just really murky, really hoppy. It pretty much tastes like straight up pineapple orange juice.
Just that classic like hazy New England style IPA, you know, tons of just juice. And yeah, I love that style of beer. That's initially what got me kind of like hooked in this world. Tonight I'm drinking a Marie by Hill Farmstead, which is a unfiltered German style Hell's lager. This, you know, as you probably are aware, Hill shut down because they don't want those scumbags bringing our germs down from Boston, New York, and all that up to pristine Northeast Kingdom. So they've shut down. They're doing a tiny bit of distro, but it's, you know, it's very, very hard to get.
Like,
the only place I know of is Ormsby Abbey in Worcester that has their beer. So yeah, I mean, I love their beer. Drinking some of that.
Oh, that's a great beer.
Hey, CBM, how long does it take you to brew a beer from start to end?
It depends. I could do an IPA like that in 10 days. Be ready, green to glass, it's called. So, get it in the keg, carbonated.
Pretty good turnaround.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. Like some beers, I've done stouts that I've conditioned for 6 months. You know, you put bourbon in them, bourbon, whatever.
Well, no, we're talking.
It all depends, but I always try to go quick.
So speaking of bourbon, I know that you and I are also big fans of like bourbon. You like the Pappy, the Buffalo Trace Antique Collection,
yeah, for sure.
the Scotches and all that stuff. So, you know, I feel like there's a lot of similarities, a lot of parallels between like the tight-knit craft beer and craft whiskey world, and also the Kirk Minahan world. You know, there's a lot of people, a lot of like really cool people in kind of both worlds, generous people, happy to share, trade, all that stuff. And there has to be a bunch of us that are kind of invested in both. So, you know, I was thinking if we can kind of get, you know, if this COVID stuff dies out in a decent time from now, you know, let's say 4, 5, 6 weeks, you know, we're allowed to do a small meetup. I would love to kind of do like a small bourbon or beer meetup, you know, in the New England area, you know, somewhere between like Worcester, Providence, and Boston, where we, you know, we share some stuff, we sample some stuff, meet up, you know, share common interests. So if the stars align and the world is kind of back in working order, you know, a month or month and a half from now, I think, you know, any of you that want to come out, try some of CBM's beer, if you want to bring your own beer that you brew yourself or bottles you want to come and share or whatever, I think we should definitely look into trying to set that up. You know, Jack's Abbey has been a great host to the Minifans. There's obviously Long Live. There's Trillium that people met up at, you know, the Madawaska, you know, B team, whatever the fuck you want to call it. So yeah, I mean, basically we got CBM brewing a beer just for the Minifans. You know, you can go vote on Twitter on what kind of style you want to see. We're probably gonna do some kind of giveaway where you can win getting a free growler mailed to your house. Obviously, if you prove your, you know, age and all that shit, so we don't violate any laws. And then we'll have a meetup set up. So, you know, we can kind of get together, share some Scotch beer, whiskey, whatever. Sounds like a good time to me, man.
It's a great idea.
No.
Love it. Hey,
we can even go
CBM.
down to Connecticut. Yep.
Yeah. Just a suggestion. Listen, I'm not the expert here, but you might want to rethink your Steve's beer and sort of make that one be a German ale. I don't know. Just a thought.
I could use a German malt in it for sure.
He'd like that.
Never played into the Jew. Never played into it.
All right, so
hate to see it.
So yeah, let's move on. So I was in the AMA this week on Discord. Kirk mentioned this a bunch. Kirk is pretty much fed up with the infighting that kind of dominated last week. He wants us to all get on the same page and, you know, pretty much be going after the common enemies, that being EEI, that being the Globe, you know, Riccio, all of that. So with that, let's bring in Typical Dummy. I hope this fucking asshole's ready.
Yeah.
Bring him in.
Yes. He's one of my beer buddies.
There you
Hey,
go.
what's going on? Yeah.
Dummy.
Can you rotate your camera a little bit?
I'm the host. You guys listen up. So listeners of the show will know that the Dummy is our chief investigator. You know, he's the fucking chief detective. He's basically, you know, like, he's basically higher than me in the show. So Dummy, welcome back.
Can I just
we missed you.
No, you didn't. Can I just say, if you guys want to meet up with CBM for a beer, it's a huge mistake. I've been there, done that. I showed up there. He had like $5,000 worth of beer. He fucking loaded his car. He smoked a cigarette.
I wouldn't share what his ass like this. I don't.
Dude, he fucking literally ripped the butt, threw the butt at me, and then at the end, And then at the end, he's just like, "Hey, I gotta go to my second cousin's birthday party."
No, my brother from New York. He came up for the weekend. My brother came up from New York.
All right. CBM's a great guy, Dummy. You know, you're my guy. Obviously, Dummy. The reason that you're here is because when we're talking enemies, you're the guy. There's no second place when it comes to enemies, in this world. So, Dummy, Kirk wants us to stop the infighting. So I'm gonna put us up that.
No chance.
CBM's my guy. You're my guy. So okay, no. The fighting is gonna continue. But we need some real enemies, not just bullshit infighting in this world. So who you got? Who do you want us going after?
I did come up with a short list.
Dummy,
Can I say just one thing? Yeah.
Turn your camera. You might want to rotate your camera.
Who?
You.
I kind of like it
sideways.
Whatever. He's fine. He doesn't know landscape. We covered this episode 1. He doesn't know what landscape is. Leave him alone.
Yeah.
It's the dummy name.
Fine.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Turn it back.
There you go.
Turn it back, Dummy. It's fine.
That's
like
75.
I don't know. Listen.
45 degrees.
All right. So, sorry. Back to Pops.
Back to enemies. You're the investigator. You go after people. You're a fucking attack dog. So Kirk made it clear he wants the infighting done. He wants to go after real enemies. EEI, Globe, Riccio. So give us a little bit of history. What enemies have we gone after in the past that you really appreciated us going after, and who do you want to see us going after right now?
How about just one? If you can show me one Minifan who actually reads the Globe with a critical eye, that'd be great. I read fucking articles every day where the comments are blocked, where they remove the comments, where the whole premise of the article is a joke. Other than the show, I don't see any of that anywhere. Sometimes Featherson posts something, but I'll read a joke article about some fucking bullshit, and the comments are deleted because they know it's a stupid article that they're going to take a ton of flack for. I don't see any Minifans posting shit. That said, I do have a short list of enemies that I'd like to go after.
Let's go.
Mayo.
TJ Kevy. Fuck that guy too.
Oh, listen, he's a busy guy, man. Fucking, he's taking private jets all over. He's running a business. He has a kid. I don't know if you heard that. So, anyways, all right. Yeah, I'm all about it. I guess that's my. If you guys want to fucking pick up your torches and pitchforks, how about you just read the fucking Globe? It's a fucking joke. Read it online. You'll see the stupider the fucking article is. They'll have the comments deleted. It's just the whole thing's a rag. It's really be exposed.
Is the Globe free or do you have to pay to?
You have to pay. So here's the deal: you sign up, and then you call the next day and say, "Hey, I'd like to cancel," and they'll say, "Hey, what about for $4 a month?" And then you'll go, too much, and then they get you all down to not literally. I think I paid 99 cents a month for it.
All right. So I'm gonna fast forward this. So how about Riccio? So I was hoping that we had a reasonable enemy in Riccio. And then I listened to the Minifan show. I listened to the Enough About Me. Riccio is a fucking idiot. He's not a tenth as intelligent as Murchison. Manners makes him look like he's Bill Gates. Riccio is dumb. Why are you worried about this guy? He's stupid as shit. He called he basically thinks everyone's a racist. He's just dumb. I was so disappointed that I wanted an enemy we can get galvanized behind and attack. Riccio is not the guy.
Well, Kirk said that himself. I mean, he's said it before on the show. He's said it a bunch of times that if it was just Riccio and it wasn't Murchison, nothing would have ever happened. That Riccio is a joke. No. That I mean, he's just an idiot who just has a shit ton of time to do stupidity. But I think that the reason why we're all jumping into this right now is just because he crossed that line.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, he's just an idiot. I don't know. Anybody can cross that line doesn't mean they deserve any attention. I don't know. He did a fucking idiot, in my opinion. CBM,
I'm with you.
CBM. What do you think? What do you think of Riccio? You are an OG Minifan. You've been around for a while. You EEI and all that. What do you think of Riccio? Am I just discounting him? Do you think
he's a joke. He just wants clout. You hear it on Enough About Me. Kirk pretty much just laughs at him. You hear him on the Minifan show. They pretty much just laugh at him. He has nothing. I think he wants to be part of the world, and that's it. He likes the contrarians. He likes to be a douche. He likes to have no points. Everything he comes up with is bullshit. Nothing to back it up. It's funny to listen to.
He's just a sad, pathetic old man. He's almost 60 years old. Go fucking retire in Florida and enjoy the beach.
I think he is 60.
So, yeah, I mean, before we finish this, before we kind of move onward, Pat, are there any enemies that you? What do you think of this whole Riccio enemy thing? Adam, you kind of got your piece in, but I just let Pat speak.
Thank you, John.
Hashtag.
I mean, you broke some like moral, just basic principle guidelines when you're making Twitter burners and posting, what the shit he was doing. You don't do that. That's a no-go. But as far as like me having enemies, no, I haven't really built up or pissed off anybody enough yet.
I don't know. I think sneakers got out for you, dude. I don't know. Anyways,
I wasn't paying attention. Honestly, usually don't give a fuck, even if somebody does say something.
Anyways, so we're gonna move on to the next point here. So in this world, there's a bunch of different characters, right? You have the classic OG Minifans, like the Steve from Providence, the Kevin from Bristol. I don't want to. I would go on and on, but I'm going to miss somebody. I don't want to piss anybody off. You guys know who you are. The Featherston's of the world. You know who you are, right? There's also the contrarians, the people like MHB, like Mayo,
like Bobby.
That's the classic kind of. What did you say, okay?
What about
Like
Jamie?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think I don't know.
Anyway,
Why does he not mention me?
It's just nitpicking.
And there's also
Papi.
the attention seekers, right? So in the attention seeker
Papi.
category, I think we
Adam the Jew, LK.
I think the classic attention seeker right now
Say
would be
my
like
name,
DJ.
bitch.
Like, I don't think he's too invested in the world. He doesn't really know the show very well. Like, I think he's just here because he's in between jobs. He's like, all right, I'm gonna kind of catch this wave here. I'm gonna latch on like a parasite. I heard him on Mike and the Minifans. There were a ton of references that were going over his head. He doesn't sound invested. He doesn't sound like he listens to even half the shows, maybe just like the highlights. So I want to kind of kick this out to everyone here. What do you guys think of the trolls? What do you think of the contrarians, the attention seekers? Are there any trolls out there that you enjoy seeing what they're doing? Like, it's entertaining to you? Are there contrarians that you like that are entertaining? What do you think of attention seekers? I'm going to start this off with you, LK. Topic is trolling, contrarians, attention seekers. What do you got?
So, Dom, just to let you know, I'm tracking my cloud points here. Okay.
Okay.
So,
5 spot right now. Just
exactly. So I think everything that's said and done on a funny way, to have fun, is valid. Like Dummy's. I don't think Dummy's a contrarian. I was kidding, but he's a shit stir, right? And that's fine. There are people that thrive on that. There are people that are just nice. There are people that are just trolls. I think sometimes Sneakers is a troll, but in his heart, he's not. He joined a bunch of Zoom sessions. He's the nicest guy. I think Prague could also be a Prague, yes, Prague masturbator. He could be considered a troll, right? Are we making fun of accents now?
No.
Okay.
Just can I actually add, if we are making fun of accents, did Kirk's Painter pay you for his ad read?
Of course.
No chance.
Yeah, you owe him some money back. You mispronounced like 7 of the words in his.
You didn't even phone number our website either, I don't think.
The what?
And also, every time you say kick, you went punch. What the fuck's up with that?
This is a punch.
You're like, it has a real kick. It has a real kick.
Yeah. So it doesn't matter. Listen,
I'll take one of those ramen. Right now, I'll take one of those ramens.
Are we changing subjects here or not?
No.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I didn't mean to kick you. I'm sorry.
So the fucking DJK kid, right? Papi. One thing that I value the most is honesty, and this little brat is going behind my back, telling people and asking people why someone is eating spicy food on the channel. Why are you guys posting that there? So, DJK, let me tell you something. You love saying that you're 23 years old and you're very accomplished. Let me tell you this. I started working when I was 14. When I was 17, I was hired for a $40 billion multinational company. Okay. Wow. When I was 20, I was transferred to the US. And when I was 23, I was a manager of a team managing a project in the whole Americas. Right. So in my book, your 6-month morning overdrive show is considered being a loser. Okay. You are a loser in my book. Right. But I'll give you a chance. When I was 24, I was speaking 3 languages. Okay. So let's see if you can match that, you fucking asshole. People compare you to Mayo and Manners. but mayor and managers are good people.
They're
They
real
have
friends.
integrity.
They know they're
They have-
talking about too. They listen to stuff.
They have integrity because if they have a problem, they will tell you on your face, right? They don't go behind your back and say shit behind your back. So he's no more than a spoiled little brat, right? And if he doesn't like that,
Yeah.
if he doesn't like that, he can suck my dick here. Fuck you.
Suck a dick.
Drop that hammer, baby. Yeah.
PBM, you're up next.
Holy shit, okay.
Okay, like some
Favorite
young
troll,
gay.
I actually missed BAC, man.
Apparently.
I love
I've
it.
never heard him so excited.
RIP BAC. Dummy's like leaving right now.
Some up
No,
there,
man.
boys.
I thought he was hilarious in Discord. Yeah, he got belligerent and it was funny. He was funny on Mike and the Minifans. He was like an asshole.
Okay.
One of my favorite trolls.
Papi, bring Justin. Bring Justin.
Justin, you pick somebody to sub out for a second. Put him back in when you're done. But I want to hear Justin on DJK.
Hey, how's it going, guys? So I just wanted to jump in real quick and
Justin, I heard you applied to the Connecticut School of Broadcasting.
I actually did not, but I just wanted to say something real quick. So the first segment of the show, was how Kirk said he wanted to start focusing on real enemies. And Dummy, did you say that we should subscribe to the Globe?
Yeah.
He did.
Why?
Yeah. Well,
His name is Dummy for a reason.
Hey, you can DM me. I'll give you
Yeah.
my hey, listen, you can DM me. I can give you my login information. I don't think they like.
I think no one should be giving any money to the Globe. If it's 99 cents a month, I don't think we should be telling people that to subscribe to the Globe. I think that's a bad
Hey,
way
what
of-
paper? What
paper?
paper do you get your newspaper from around here?
I don't.
No, Dummy, what you gotta do is
I know you don't. I know you don't.
You just
I'm sorry.
break the paywalls.
There you go.
Yeah, you get
Whatever
the
you can
VPN,
hit, you can
yeah.
hit me up. I'll share my login information. I don't have a problem doing that.
You
I also
gotta
don't have a
keep
problem
all of this.
fucking paying 99 cents a month for the paper of record around here.
You should
You're
tweet
saying
out
they're the enemy.
password.
What's up?
You should tweet out the login information.
It's Jackson69.
Just make sure it's not like a password you use for more than one account.
I just
It's for all of them.
I just think it would.
Yeah,
if,
just change
if
that
Kirk
real
listens to
quick.
this, it's fucking crazy. If
Fucking Justin.
Justin, fuck this. I want to hear your takes on DJK. What do you think?
He's infighting.
Great, I have a question. So
It's not
you
infighting.
compare him to Mayo. You compare him to Menners. Mayo and Menners are authentic Minifans. You know I fuck with Menners, but I actually love Menners. They're authentic Minifans. They listen to every single show. They pay attention. Do you think that DJK is an authentic Minifan, or do you think he's just some fucking schmuck in between jobs that's looking for a little level up?
I don't know. I just think he's just a person who just made a show for the YouTube, and he just wanted to try to get his name out there, so he came out and talked a lot of shit. But I think this goes against the whole first part of the segment where you guys were talking about getting away from infighting. It's like we can tell DJK to suck our dick, but let's just all focus on the common enemy.
No, I like him. I just don't think he's a real Minifan. But I don't know. Whatever. I don't really care.
The infight is one thing, right? I think it's like waste of time. But like integrity and being honorable, it's different. You know, and this guy's.
I'll never gatekeep the Kirk Minute show.
All right, one more question.
You should.
One more question, Justin. Do you think that Riccio is like
keeps me.
a worthy?
right now.
I think right now we should treat him like a worthy. I think calling him a worthy foe and treating him like a worthy foe are
what did
two
Dale
different
say?
things. I think we should treat him as if he's on the Murchison
Where's
level,
Dale
so
on
bring
the
him down
Twitch?
that much quicker. But I do not think that he is on the same level as Bob Murchison. But I think that what we should do is we should go after, if he wants to bring up Kirk's family, Kirk's wife, these things like this. We just have to show them how strong we are, how what we can find on the internet, and maybe get his brother involved, get someone else. We need to, you know how Murchison had his wife ended up saying, "Hey, cut the shit," and Murchison ended up cutting the shit.
Yeah.
We need to get someone in Riccio's life, whether that be his brother, his parents, his drug dealer. We need to get someone involved, and we just need to get Riccio just the fuck out of this world.
Yeah.
So,
Richard, Brian's brother works for the fruit company. All right, so
so that's
guys
all I
get
have to
working
say.
on that.
But so I'm gonna back out and bring in Cameo.
All right, thank you, Justin. Appreciate all your help.
I just want to jump on one thing that Justin said, where he said that he doesn't want to be a gatekeeper, and I'm all for that. I don't think it's like I hated the whole I've been a Minifan first, or we need to have some sort of system where you can only listen if you're a true Minifan, blah, blah, blah. I think that's all bullshit. I've only had nice interactions with DJK on Twitter. It's about the only thing I've had with him. The one thing I will say that keeps bothering me is the whole spiel about I've been in this for 3 years.
Yeah,
I've been doing a show for 3 years. Dude, 3 years is jack shit. You don't know at all what you're talking about. And to sit there and then be like, oh, I can't believe Kirk thinks that it's a good idea to do a show for 3 hours. Like, come on, everyone knows that's terrible. And I'm a social media genius. When it's clear that, I mean, look at the videos he's posted before. They got 0 views. And obviously he's here to try to get a name for himself. And that's fine. Listen, that's totally fine. The real issue is that, you know, he doesn't know everything and he thinks he does. And that leads to issues where you say things and do things that piss people off, like LK, who's a genuinely nice guy, and you're talking shit behind his back. And then, you know, you have to force Dummy to pretend to like you because he's got to be the contrarian, like LK said.
No, but I
take it easy. We're all taking it easy here.
No, here's the thing.
You're throwing me off. You're throwing me off your side.
I would never tell people don't go make shows for the YouTube, right? I think Kirk is the only one that can say yes or no. And Manners would go on his show and say cancel Life Loser. That sucks. That's fine. You know, like I can take criticism, but say in front of me, say on my face, right? Don't go behind my back. That's my only problem.
So I don't know how my camera works. You know, time served matters. If someone just showed up to Anne Frank's
How do you
house,
have a loaded
she'd be
taco?
like, yo, I've been hanging. All right.
I don't even know what to say.
You don't just show up.
Right there.
That's
loaded taco, not loaded.
All right. I don't even know what the fuck to say to that. But I think there is legitimacy there to you know, to I don't know. I just don't want to hear somebody like talking shit in a critical way about the world if you don't even like know what you're talking about. Like even when MHP came in was like spitting fire at Phil. And he said like, "Oh, I haven't listened to the show in like X amount of weeks."
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to hear this, dude. Like, he's like, you don't have all the facts. It's like somebody going to a fucking court case, you know, at court. Like, yeah, like I haven't really paid attention in the last like 4 proceedings, but
I'll throw you a bone. He bashed Discord, and then also has never tried it. You know, it's a you know, don't knock it if you haven't tried it. You know, and
that dirty dog.
That dirty dog, you dirty dog.
He also. Kirk has said it before over the past like couple of weeks, especially a lot. But he's been talking about how he builds the show in a way that you have to hear every single episode. You can't skip an episode because you miss things. And then if you listen to what DJK was saying on Mike and the Minifans, he was talking about how, yeah, you know, I mean, I think I'm just ready to take a break from listening to the show now because I didn't like Colin. So I've done that before. I've taken a month off and then I come back and I think it's so much better and blah, blah. And it's like, you know, those two things just don't align.
Well, there is some predictableness to the show. So, like, you know, I listened to Colin. I listened to the intro to it. I thought, like, okay, I like the gimmick. I like the shtick. Not my thing. I'm not going to spend my whole day here. And then the next day, it was quite clear. Okay, well, we're going to talk about that show, the entire show. And again, I didn't listen. So I was like, I'm just going to skip that. So there are shows where I feel as a fan, I'm just like, oh, this was not for me. You know, I think I'll survive skipping it.
That's a good segue. So, like, Kirk basically came out and said, anybody who didn't like the Colin show, like, you're better off just like moving on. Like, if you didn't like that show, like, you're just not going to like the rest of the stuff. Might as well just move on. I'll be a clean break. But I do think a lot of people that say that, they don't really mean it. I think they're just trying to be like trolls. So on the topic of that, we kind of talked about contrarians like DJK. Let's move on to the trolls. What do you guys think of trolling in this world? Does it entertain you? Does it ever go to a point where you think it's like not entertaining? Yeah, what do you guys take on the hardcore trolls or just the trolling in general? I'm gonna start it off with you, LK, and then Adam.
I don't have an opinion. I think you troll all you want, you know, as long as it doesn't get personal and it stays within the realm of the world.
But it always does. It always does, though, right? Like, you know, like.
But then you ignore.
It pretty much always does.
Like again, like Dummy. I know you have like stuff like with Mayo last week. I went on Twitter and said, hey,
point always is personal.
No, hold on. I said, hey Mayo, you were born a playboy. You know, like I made a lot of jokes. He came to me and said, hey, I should not have gotten so upset. I know you were joking. And I said, I'm just having fun, Mayo. You know, it's not true. And if someone thinks it's true, it's not. You know, we are all having fun here. And I think what Mayo did to you might have crossed the line a little bit, Dummy. But I think it's all with good intentions. You know, even like sneakers, and Prague trolling, on Discord. I think it's it's within the realm of the show.
Adam, your turn.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna flag sneakers here, and I'm gonna say it in the sense that I actually really like it. I have very thick skin, and that's always been the way that me and my buddies joke around, and the way we've always had our relationship. So, I think it can be entertaining. Like you guys said, sometimes it goes over the line. This is where we're all adults, and we should be able to act like it. And if you overstep, you overstep. Someone should say, "Hey, listen, that was a shit move you did. Apologize, move on." We don't need to turn it to like a fucking high school drama where we're all just bitching and moaning. Although, again, as someone who likes drama, I enjoyed sitting back and, for example, watching you and Mayo go at it. Dummy was quite entertaining during the AMA as Kirk was talking about how we should end the interview, and the two of you were going back and forth. It was awesome. But no, I mean,
Dummy was
take it for what it's worth. It's just we're all here for the same purpose. We're all here to have fun, as a break from reality. And my view is, don't take it too personally. And for me, I know you have to really cross a line. I mean, like, fucking A, Dummy just made a Holocaust joke, and I don't give two shits. I'm sitting here laughing at it. Like, it's just move.
That's exactly
People
what I
forget.
ask you. It's like, well, the trolling in general is pretty. It's just what it is. It can be really fun, but you sit around and you watch it, and you'll watch it, and everyone's individual. You say your thicker skin probably the most, but like you could see like it come occasionally like uncomfortable to watch sometimes. You're like, ooh, yeah, but I also feel like once
I agree.
it kind of makes it fun. But if you're willing to enter this, put your world, enter these platforms, put your face out there, you kind of have to expect it.
Yep, absolutely, yeah. One of the more interesting kind of CBM, I'm gonna get to you as well. One of the more interesting kind of instances of trolling that I've seen has been this whole Greg Hill thing, right? So that was like that was amazing. I don't know what Greg Hill really did to us. He didn't really do anything, but it's just fun to watch. So even when somebody's like not guilty of anything, like he didn't do anything to us, I still find myself just endlessly entertained watching trolling.
He did something to us indirectly, right? Because he did something to Kirk. So we are all listeners of Kirk.
What did he do, Kirk?
He was an asshole to Kirk. Once he left the show.
He said he was nice. He said he was nice to him, basically. He said he's never had a problem with Greg Hill.
No, but
no, that's fine. I mean, I think it's hilarious to watch Greg Hill get trolled, but Greg Hill did nothing.
I mean, he's made sniped comments here and there on his show where he makes bail references.
I hate his show. I think it's boring as shit. But he hasn't done anything to us.
Guilty by association. He's part of the guilty by association.
Who's the Ned Devine's guy? That got attacked because he told him he liked Kirk or whatever it was.
Some guy named Sean. Some guy named Sean. But I never.
I want to see Justin get punched at his barbecue. I'm just whatever. Ned Devine's. I'm down to watch some fucking fun.
I'll bring my safety.
Throw me under the bus for paying 90.
And it's not even Emily. It's Will who wants to do that. His equal or his equal ever. So whatever. All right, boys. CBM. You got anything on trolling?
That's enough of that.
Not really. I mean, I really did enjoy that Greg Hill thing. I was laughing my balls off when he was trying to did you guys watch it? He's trying to pour his drink, and the dude told him, "Oh, just use." They poured. They had 2 tea bags. They put gin in, and then they were supposed to use that. Greg Hill ended up using that plus more gin, and then his drink looked so much lighter than the other guys. He was like, "This is delicious." It's such bullshit. And the whole time, people are on the comment saying, "We can't hear you."
Yeah, that was the funniest part.
Can you that's the type of shit. I would love to stop the trolling each other and do that.
Quality analysis.
Since I got brought up.
Yes.
Thanks,
Okay,
baby.
so I was mad that
Learned it from Blind Mike.
made comments about my family multiple times.
Thank you for that.
And he said he thought less of me because I drew a line and said, you know what, you can fuck off with that shit. I don't need to bring it around to you. And I regretted that. I don't actually think that was right. I think I should have let him troll me. And He also has made comments about people getting pictures from other parts of the internet that doesn't have to do with the KMS show. So he does get a little muddled. Now that we have Brian Riccio posting about Kirk's family for pulling pictures from outside the world, is Mayo going to have to think less of Kirk since Kirk has drawn the line there? Or is Mayo just a fucking fuckwad?
Did you ask the question just to say that?
What? No. I only said that because you guys were all staring with your mouths open into the camera instead of responding.
Well, no, I didn't listen.
What do you want me to say? Dummy, what do you want me to say?
You know what I want you to say, Latino Kirk. I want you to say, you know what, dummy? You're right again. Right again.
Listen, all right. So two things I want to end off with here. Dummy,
I love Dummy,
you need to get us some real targets to go after. You are the investigator. You're the fucking detective. Give us some real targets to set our sights on. I'm gonna do some attacking. Also, next week, tune in. We're gonna see some footage of CBM. He's gonna give us some footage of him brewing, the whole process there. You can kind of keep up with us week to week. Come try the beer. Maybe you win the chance to get a sample to you. Also, pay attention to the Twitter. We're gonna vote on which beer we're gonna do. And yeah, I'm gonna put out to you as closing thoughts. Our roundtable is gonna be long this week, but whatever. Fuck it, we're having fun. Anybody else want to? Anything else they want to say?
Not really. Not gonna lie.
The only thing I've got, is that I just want to, getting back to the infighting versus, going after enemies. I think that on Friday we proved with just how fast we got a couple of those Twitter accounts shut down that the Minifans, Mincels, let's just call it all of us, Minifans or whatever. We're all together as a united, as a united front. We are fucking powerful. We are fucking awesome. We are stronger together. And enough of this bullshit inside stuff, it's easy to say that after we just, rip DJK for a little bit, like Justin said, but it's all part of the game. Like I said, nobody can take anything too personally unless you go that far. And fuck it. We're a team, and we need to all fucking remember what we're all here for.
Yeah. At the end of the day, I like DJK. When people are not you gotta know all the details. You can't be taking shots at people and then he chucked out halfway through that mic in the Minifans. He didn't know what was going on. He was very, I don't know. That just annoys me. It's like if you're gonna come hard with that fire, at least be able to keep up with the rest of the discourse. So whatever. But he's fine. He's young. He's doing his job.
At least be a man and man up.
I mean, I ran my 7th and 8th grades daily production studio for I ran
7th and 8th grade production studio
for 2 years. Does that make me almost as qualified?
Almost
more qualified.
Yes.
Do you have a microphone tattooed on your arm?
No.
How many cuts can you edit into one video?
Oh boy,
we should have the fuck out of this.
I think the most I'm at is 30 something.
No, fuck this little spoiled brat. Let's change some things. You guys have
because that's where the footage ended at.
There you go. Listen, I'm always Team LK.
Yeah. All right. CBN, thank you for coming on. Tune in next week. See some more beer. Everyone, thanks for tuning in.
Thank you guys.
Cut. All right. So I might cut that where I was just like, oh, anybody else have anything else to say? Just because it's already going on long enough, but
wow.